Today we are not going to be working on this absolute beauty. Instead, we are going to be wrapping the bike today. The bike consists of three main pieces: the fuel tank, the front little part right here, and then this one singular strut bar, like support or brace. I don't really know what to call it, but it's just like this super dystopian styling. Now, I have tiny vinyl right here. This is a gloss. I forget the color. I'll put it down in the corner of the screen right now if you guys want to use this. On camera, it's showing up a lot better than it does, but it's like this light blue hue white color. I think it's going to look really good personally. I'm kind of excited to see the bike a different color than the way that it is right now. And if I don't like it, I can take it off. Now, I've only worked with Avery Dennison and 3M before, so this is going to be a new material for me. I heard it's really sensitive to heat, so we're going to make sure that we're being careful when using it. Okay, so the bike, the very first portion of it has been wrapped. I don't know if you can see, but all of this bundling up right here, listen to how hard the material is. 2 seconds ago, when I heat this up, watch how malleable this becomes. Watch it. When I heat this up, it literally just lets me pull, stretch it, do whatever I want to this. This wrap is such an easy wrap to work with. For a beginner, anyone with a little bit of experience to this, I've worked with a lot. I think this is actually easier than Satin Film by Avery Dennison, which is known to be one of the most beginner-friendly films out there. Now, there is a tiny imperfection. You can maybe get gloss on it right kind of there, right there. Now that's just because on the divot and actually the styling of this thing, he sanded it down, so you can slightly see a little bit of a divot. But the color of this is also super fucking bright and cool. I'm gonna start cutting it, trimming it, and then putting away all the edge pieces, and I'll show you in the end result, and I'll start setting you up for a time lapse.
I ain't even like he got a problem, he get touched up.
So there's gonna be stress points. So you make a little cut if it's going to be on an edge, so it lets you be able to separate it, and pretty much as if you're doing an envelope or any sort of origami or something. If there's hella pressure on something,
origami, you don't.
You can do this with fabric. I already know this.
Yeah, no, I get the idea though. I didn't even think of that.
So what I can do is it can kind of separate the pieces, and watch when I heat this up.
I
can also work at one piece at a time and just go like this, heat up to an extreme heat, and then work my way down and around.
Yeah.
Kind of feeling that edge right there without causing any sort of creases visible on the outside, and then work it on the back right there. And again, it won't show onto the next piece. I can do this next little piece, fold up, do the
it's
next
not like
piece.
anyone's gonna look around your bike.
Yeah, and then the good part about cars is it goes into the fender, or if it goes into this body line, you'll never see it back here. And if I do want to heat it up back here, I'm gonna have you feel this corner in a second, but I'll literally press it down like the way I would tuck in a corner. And you'll see the minimal amount of impact that actually gets caused from a wrap. Now feel the corner back there.
Oh yeah.
It tucks in, folds over, and that's it.
Yeah.
There's nothing. So.
Say you rather die, I feel you probably had enough fun.
You should own a wrap shop. Yo.
I don't have enough time. I also would feel bad if I fucked up some of the stuff.
No, but this is another reason.
I would love to do a wrap shop down the line, but not right now. That's alright.
This is why
he's gonna sell bars.
The community space would be a good thing. Cause
another one, and if I die, yes, it's tough love. Boy, better buzz up. Tell me you a bozo. I've been in that. You still in a Volvo. With all that pretending you a fan, you want a photo.
Your camera's also at 10.
That's okay. I'm gonna turn it off. So they get the idea of what a perfectly wrapped thing is. I'm now going to be taking off just the protective layer of this so that I can actually start molding some of this around. With the protective layer, it's very restrictive, so you just want to lay down the general shape, at which point then you can start.
Always I remember I've been in it, but I solo. I don't need no friends or tell nobody, that's a no.
Okay, so I was able to finish up wrapping the first couple of pieces, and I stepped back, and I really love the metallic kind of blue paint. I think once we eliminate a lot of that brown, the blue is actually going to be the tie-in a little bit better, especially if we add any sort of black graphics or anything on top of it. This side I started slowly working on, and I was actually able to see how that's embossed. I was actually able to work through the Yamaha logo, and I'll be working towards the back over here, pulling everything through out, and then unfortunately we're gonna have to do a little bit of a middle seam line, but I'll make sure we have vinyl cutting tape, and we'll lay it down in the middle so you don't even see a thing. The homies are really coming out in support by just eating resin canes as I'm working. I got majority of this done. As you can see, I got almost half of the top done. I got all of this curvature, but the issue is that there's an indentation here, and then there's a lot of buildup of material here because of how much stretching you have to do over here. There is, I'm gonna get a flashlight real quick. So you can actually see that this is embossed. It's really clean. That took a really long time to work out, but once I worked that out, stretching it over to the front of the bike, I just didn't give myself enough material. And I only had a little bit because I wanted to see this actually for which color I wanted to run as the Miata. So now you guys know what color I'm not running on the Miata. But anyways, I had extra vinyl and I figured I might as well use it for something. I tried to do it on this, and even though I was able to get like a lot of the shape of the bike down, unfortunately, it just didn't quite work out. The cool part is it does look really good in a color, but I'm kind of thinking just to make it all black out. I love the original livery, but I don't think it's meeting. I really do like the bike in color, but I think I'm probably just going to choose this to be a more minimal design. I think with it being any sort of color, it is... I do like the blue, but I think that if I go with any sort of color, it does like modernize it, but at the exact same time, it stands out too much away from the general shape of the bike. Like all of the little details of like the matching handlebar to like the seat, and there's just the general shape of the bike. When the color is so bright, it just draws more attention to the accent pieces of the more like the cyberpunk-esque, like more Mad Max style pieces to it, and it draws too much attention to this rather than the overall shape of the bike. And also the color is all located up in the front. Most likely I'm either going to run some sort of black. I'm probably going to go satin, and then maybe even like gloss text on the satin. Just some ideas. I do have a vinyl cutter that can like write anything I want on it, but this was an all right success. I was able to work with Tiny Bot vinyl. As you can tell, you can see my edges. This is really good material, and I'm excited to work on it with the Miata, which is a lot more like bubbly shapes and bigger curvatures, which is astronomically easier to work on than that gas tank, which is like all these like compound shapes and structures, and going in and out with a lot of loose material. It's hard to pull on that, and it's still going to be applicable after like 30 minutes. So also kind of nicked myself pretty good and got a nice little burn in the process. So today I'm just gonna pull this off and start anew. That's okay.
Some homies said I love it. Ask me why I act the way I do. I did it with no lie. You say you do well. Judging by your numbers, couldn't tell.